What's up everybody, my name is Big Cam and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are talking about 2025's The Naked Gun. And this is from director AKIVA SCHAFFER, starring Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., returning or reprising the role as the son of Frank Drebin, who was Leslie Nielsen, I believe was his name, and he was really hilarious in the role, and just like a funny comedian and funny guy altogether. And Liam Neeson, tried to do his best impersonation of that, and like, these movies are dumb, like they're not necessarily comedies in the sense that like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but like, they're not just like your ha-ha movies, they're like dumb funny, you know what I mean? Like, they're not just funny in the sense that they're trying to just make you laugh. They're trying to make you laugh at insane, dumb shit, or just like the conversation, the dialogue is so dumb it's funny, rather than like the punchline was smart or clever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This would probably work for a lot of people. There's probably a lot of people that saw this and thought it was really funny. For me, I spent probably the first 45 minutes to a half hour of the film just being like, God, I don't think this is funny at all. And then there was like just one part in the movie, like towards the middle, where they just start to wear you down, and they just break you down with all the dumbness, and they just break you down, until eventually you're laughing at it. And I was like, all right, they won me over. I did find that funny. I did laugh out loud. I didn't try to just I fully cackled out loud. And I don't know, if it wasn't for Pamela Anderson though, like, she's gorgeous, and I've always loved Pamela Anderson, but she comes in and she's like, not only beautiful, but she's like funny, and then she like brings this love story to this film. And if you guys know me, I'm a sucker for a love story, so I was just here for that relationship between the two of them, just being like, well, I hope it works out for them, you know what I mean? And then like Paul Walter Hauser's in there, Danny Hudson, Kevin Durand is in there, or Durand, and he's Proximus Caesar in the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie, I believe, and he's fucking hilarious in that. Cody Rhodes makes a quick appearance in here. Busta Rhymes, like there was some little cameos in this that I thought were hilarious. Bruce Buffer, Michael Bisping, Justin Gaethje's in there, Kamaru Usman. Looks like a bunch of UFC guys all of a sudden were stuffed in here. Batista was in there for a second. Like, it was just like a crazy, dumb movie, and it's like one of these movies where, like, you want them to exist, but if they didn't, like, me personally, I wouldn't be so upset. But, like, it also feels like these type of movies should be out there. Not every movie needs to be a Martin Scorsese or a Spielberg masterpiece, like, there needs to be bad movies out there like this to make you realize what great movies are, you know what I mean? Like, if this movie wasn't a 2.5 out of 5 stars, and I think that's me being generous, and maybe it's just my thought process was like, I don't know if I like it or not, so it sits directly in the middle. Maybe I hated it, maybe I loved it. That's like a 50% to me, you're just not sure, you're right down the middle. At least I'm not indifferent towards it, I'm just not sure. Maybe if I see it again, maybe I'll hate it more, maybe I'll like it more, who knows. But I do recommend checking it out. It is on Paramount now, streaming for free. I'm glad I didn't rent it or, go to the theaters to spend money on it. But if I'm able to watch it at home with a streaming platform I already have rented for the month or paid for, you know what I mean? It's not the biggest deal for me to watch one of these movies that I'm like, that was really dumb and a waste of 85 minutes of my time that I could have been spending doing something else. But it's only 85 minutes. It flew by. It's been a couple days now. There's so much of this movie that I don't remember already. So if I watched it again, I would see it pretty much for the first time all over again. And that's like, the type of dumb movie you want, like growing up, like a Nacho Libre. Incredibly dumb movie. Absolutely loved it as a kid. I'm sure there's some kids that saw this that absolutely ate it up and loved it. And maybe this brought kids, a new generation of kids, put them on to Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. If that's a friggin' thing out there, I'm happy that at least is a thing for the world, you know what I mean? But if they do a Naked Gun 2, would I watch it? Probably not. I mean, it rebooted the classics. The classics weren't that classic to begin with. There's classic for some people that are like, oh, the Naked Gun movies are awesome. They're not that great. I mean, I think my father liked them. I think I saw maybe bits and pieces of them as a kid. not really for me. Not really my style, but still okay movie. Not the worst way to spend a little bit less than 90 minutes, you know what I mean? But still, overall for me, about 2.5 out of 5 stars, and it's not that great a movie, but, you know, it's able to make me then see, like, Casino Royale, Daniel Craig's James Bond movie over the weekend, and be like, yeah, not such a great movie, Casino Royale, freaking phenomenal movie, you know what I mean? Like, there's scales to this, you know, and there's bad movies that are still okay, and then there's great movies that are fantastic, you know what I mean? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking at the broad spectrum of movies. Comment below your thoughts on this. I hope you didn't think of it as I did. Maybe you really loved your experience watching this, and if that's the case, I'd love to hear, you know, how that went down for you. Were you in the theaters? Were you at home? Maybe you and your girlfriend had a little date night, had some popcorn, and you guys just laughed your ass off. Me personally, maybe I was in a bad mood when I was watching it. You know, you never know how your day affects the movie you're watching, and you know, it's important to watch movies, to me at least. It's important to watch movies and then chat about them with other people and see where your mind was at, and like, yeah, I thought the exact same thing as you, or it's like, no, you're completely wrong. I experienced it this way, and try it again, you know, and then you try things again. It's important. Either way, I hope you guys didn't mind my ramble for a second there, but I hope you guys know that I love movies, even if I hated them and they weren't for me. I'm still here as like a movie lover, a cinephile, you know, somebody that just love seeing new stuff, old stuff, and experiencing new things, and then chatting about it with folks like yourself. So if you clicked on this video, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you. If you'd like to chat more about The Naked Gun or any other movies on my other social medias, links for those down in the description below. Once again, my name is Big Cam, 2 G's and that big, pretty much anywhere, and you can find me. Just look for this face. And if you made it this far in the video and you would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, subscribing if you haven't already, hitting that bell so you don't miss future movie reviews and you get the notifications when those come out. Make sure you share this with a friend, comment, do all the things to help the channel grow and get out into the algorithm. It helps a lot. Thank you guys so much. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!